everyone, it's Eric Unrated.
And Nick Neon.
And today we're going to talk about how we first met. Well, it was my first day in a brand new school.
We gotta set the tone.
Okay.
It was September.
Picture
1999. We're like in two different directions. I'm like, you're like old Hollywood, and I'm like.
Picture it. September 1999.
And I'm like, it was fall 1999. The wind was blowing through the moors. I like your version better. Let's stick with that one.
Alright.
Picture it.
September 1999. First day in a new school for me.
I was in my third year. It was 7th grade for both of us.
That's why you was so ratchet when I met you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was.
No, I still is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it was my first day. We had Mr. Tuck for homeroom.
Yeah. Who was amazing. He was definitely one of my favorite teachers.
He was like
shout out to
understanding
Mr. Tuck.
and everything. Mr.
He
Tuck
was such a sweetheart, and he was like, yeah. The more I think about him, the more I'm like, he was.
Because even, you know what it was? I hated pretty much every staff member there. Mr. Tuck was one of the few people that if there was an issue, like I remember getting in trouble once, and he was the only teacher that pulled me to the side and was like, is everything okay? Like, what's going on? You know,
right.
This happened, so like it raised some concern, and you know, he was the only one that actually took the time and didn't treat us like children. That's what it was.
That was respectable, yeah. Mr. Tuck was also our global studies history teacher. So like, I remember it was like homeroom, and then like maybe it was like we went right into global studies or something. So it was like homeroom, and then like we had him, so we were staying in the same room. And we had like a nice introductory, like everyone said their name and stuff, and like he wanted to start the class because it was global studies by asking this question, which was
what annoys you in the world?
What in the world annoys you or is troublesome or something like that?
What's happening in the world that annoys you right now?
Yeah, right, yeah. That's exactly it. And so when you hear that question in a global studies classroom or setting, you naturally would be like, the polar bears is drowning. The polar bears are drowning. What else? What? There's starvation and famine.
Y2K is gonna happen.
Y2K is gonna happen. Like you think big, and we're all just
the world's going on. So I guess fuck the polar bears.
And so like
I love polar bears.
So there was like, you know, a few kids raised their hands, and I'm sitting there trying to think of the greatest answer on earth, and I'm like, what am I thinking about? What is the greatest problems we are facing today? And all of a sudden, like, Mr. Tuck is like, Eric? And I'm like, who Eric? And I look back to my left and behind me, and Eric here is sitting there, and he's like, my baby sister. And I'm like, what the fuck answer is that? Like, who are you? You ain't famous.
I was like...
when I think back, I'm like, I think it was like just envy because Eric from the very beginning has always said what was on his mind, and he's never like cared to like censor himself, hence unrated. And like, I just like remember sitting there and being like, who the fuck is this person? Like, I had never recognized him from like my 2 years at the school. So I was like, he's definitely one of the new kids, but then I was just like, anyway.
Do you remember why I gave that answer?
No, yeah. Well, yeah, explain why. Yeah, because everyone kind of like laughed, and Mr. Tuck was like understanding. He was like, okay, fair enough.
I think everybody thought it was a joke, and I wasn't actually willing to go further with it. But then I backed up my response.
You did.
It was because my mom had given birth to my sister and moved her into my brother's room, the bigger room in the house, into my tiny ass broom closet room. Not even a broom closet.
It's like about this. It was like the size of Bender's apartment in Futurama, or a little bit smaller than Harry Potter's broom closet under the stairs.
Much. So imagine putting a bunk bed in that room. So I had to now share a room with my brother, who he and I were always fighting and going back and forth, and we didn't have space for anything. He was a slob too.
And also, that wasn't a room.
It wasn't a room.
He didn't have to share a room with his brother. He had to share a closet with his brother.
But I got out of it eventually.
But
So that's what annoyed me, and that's why I gave the answer. I mean, I love my sister to death, but that was my that was my reasoning behind it.
It's just funny because he thought so specific and so like, not in generals. And
Y'all
like,
was trying to go worldly.
and we were like trying to think like worldly, and it
Impress
was
the teacher.
yeah, right. And so that's why I think I had envy. I was just envious of him and his answer, but I disguised it with hatred and evil
As
eyes.
we do so
I was
well.
like,
You lucky I ain't see that shit. I was
yeah,
like,
I know.
back at you. Okay.
Yo, there would have been. I think about all the ways in which we could have actually met, officially like met, and I'm like, thank God it happened the way that we're about to tell you because
you would have been like, oh hell, I
we would have. Yeah, I would have thrown
like,
a table.
come for me.
I would have grabbed like my compass, like and stuck the blunt side in.
I mean the protractor.
Yeah. So like lunchtime, I was just sitting by myself. I don't remember why, because I knew a lot of the kids in the class, but they were all sitting in different groups together. So I was sitting by myself, and I might have been eating. I might have finished eating.
The way you eat, I wouldn't
and then
be surprised.
I like opened my bag and I started to take something out.
And I was.
And in real time, if we rewind, Eric's
If we were
part of this
scenario B.
Yeah.
Like I had come into this school, and I'm so used to having people gravitate to me towards lunch. Like I was. Like, I mean, I'm without sounding like a douche. I was a cool kid. I was popular. So I'm going to the school where almost none of my friends transferred to, and I'm standing there thinking, where the hell am I going to sit? Like, class was fun, but I didn't talk to anybody. Like, where can I go? And as I'm like scanning the lunchroom, standing there like Katie and Mean Girls, I see him pull this out.
Ta-da.
And that's all I had to see. I was like, that's the one! I was like, get over here! He's like, ah! I was like, where did you get this?
He literally was like, where did you get that?
Like,
and I was like,
full aggression. Like,
yeah,
literally like
and
that.
I was like, Barnes and Nobles. And then it
And that's it?
I don't even, yeah, I can't remember the details of, I just remember us literally just realizing that we both fucking loved Resident Evil as much as we did.
Mm-hmm.
And and I was like, because it's like, we were at an age where like these kind of items, like collector items or like other items of media like within like a franchise or something were not like, I feel like most kids didn't know these things were happening. Like it was like older kids would know about it. And like we were just so obsessive that like we would know about that.
You should see my collection.
Right, yeah, you should.
We
need to do an episode on that. Eric's Resident Evil collection is immense.
Capcom,
it's immense.
Adopt me.
Capcom owes him Social Security.
And then some. I'm a back collect.
Back collect. But yeah, so we were like, we just like fucking, we fell in love with Resident Evil, like on our own accord. And then like when we met, we just like joined forces and then like I just remember like I was hanging out, like I had all these friends over, usually like every now and then we'd play video games at my place. And one day I just was like, actually Eric, do you want to come over after school? And that's just how it, and then ever since that, then like...
You were playing Final Fantasy VIII at the time, which is my favorite Final Fantasy, so it's like...
I love
and I'm sure that's one of the main reasons for that. It's like I related to a time that was like ridiculously special and like important in my life. And same with Resident Evil 3, with Nemesis. Yeah. Like that's my favorite Resident Evil.
I feel like Resident Evil bonded us, but then like Resident Evil 3, Nemesis, and Final Fantasy VIII like that solidified the friendship. I was like, I said bonded already. What else can I say? It's just funny that like it's almost been 20 years. This September will be 18 years that we've been best friends, and not just like best friends and then we disappear. Like we've been pretty consistently like too much. Like we've been extra for like the
even
entire
when you was on the other side of the pond.
Even when I was in Korea for almost 8 years, like we were still like we didn't keep in touch as much, but like nothing changed.
Just because you a terrible texter.
Yeah, yeah. What? And he's a terrible person on the phone. But we used to talk on the phone like crazy long times, like run times like for days. Like we used to do marathon. It's like full circle. Like it's like almost 20 years later. We've been around. Like our friendship has almost been around as long as the Resident Evil series. Like
and yeah, whereas I would come over and watch him play video games. Now it's flipped.
Yeah, now I go to his place to watch him play video games. Most recently, Resident Evil 7. So it's hysterical that it's like from Resident Evil 3 to Resident Evil 7. Like we just. That Resident Evil unites. Basically, evil unites us. Like, okay, so on that note, we're super curious how you might have met like some of your best friends. Like, what has united you? You know, like, did video games do it? Like,
how long have you been friends?
How long have you been friends? Yeah, totally. Like, so curious.
I want to know some stories. Like,
I want to know some crazy
those bonding stories.
Yeah,
like what really?
What were those moments? Because for us, it was literally from day one. It wasn't like we hung out a few times and we were like, hey, we're becoming best friends. It was literally like, ching, like it was just like boom.
I
like,
knew from when I threatened him.
Yeah,
And he was just like, Barnes and Noble.
he was just like, where did you get that book? Yeah. He's basically the Trunchbull.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, thank you.
You're welcome. So yeah, that's it. But basically, yeah, if you, like, as usual, if you like what you saw today, please like our videos. Please support us. You can subscribe to our channel for more shenanigans. Also, we are on Instagram, being hella extra. You'll find B-roll from some of our clips, and you'll find other ridiculous ratchet shit on there. Probably more uncensored ratchet shit on there than on this channel. So follow us on Instagram if you'd like, and definitely comment again. We'd love to hear those stories. And then also,
My bow.
just want to plug that.
So I made this bow, or I designed this bow, sorry, and Steph from SheMakesGlamour whipped it up like immediately, just in time for me to get it and wear it for Resident Evil: The Final Chapter. So Steph, thank you.
You the bomb.
You are the bomb.
Like, truly.
Can't praise you enough. All day, every day. And yeah, that's that.
That's pretty much it. Alright, see you soon. Deuces.